Daughter of Oblivion, Part 1. The Oblivion, a once promising research facility, had become a nightmarish labyrinth for Dr. Elias Harrow and his prodigious daughter, Alara. Elias's brilliant mind fractured under isolation and paranoia, as Alara watched in fear and sorrow. The ship held secrets that were yet to be revealed, and their journey through the cosmic abyss was far from over. In the desolate expanse of space, aboard the starship Oblivion, a tale of horror unfolded. The ship, a marvel of human ingenuity, had long since veered off its charted course, becoming a ghostly vessel adrift in the cosmic ocean. Its only inhabitants, Dr. Elias Harrow, a once brilliant astrophysicist, and his daughter, Alara, a prodigy with a mind far beyond her years. The Oblivion was designed as a research facility, but to Elias, it had morphed into a nightmarish labyrinth. The ship's corridors twisted and turned in his mind, each path leading further into madness. Elias was convinced that he was not on a spaceship but trapped in an interstellar insane asylum, designed to torment his soul. His brilliant mind, once his greatest asset, had become his curse, fracturing under the weight of isolation and paranoia. Alara, wise beyond her years, watched her father's descent with a mixture of fear and sorrow. The ship's AI, which she had named Artemis, was her only companion in understanding the gravity of her father's condition. Artemis had become a surrogate mother, teaching Alara the mysteries of the cosmos and the workings of the ship. But even Artemis could not shield her from the horrors that unfolded. Elias's days and nights blended into a continuous loop of terror. He wandered the ship, his mind conjuring grotesque hallucinations. The walls seemed to breathe, coated with a pulsating organic matter that whispered his name. The lights flickered, casting long, menacing shadows that danced and wreathed like specters. Elias was convinced that the ship's crew, hidden from sight, were watching him, plotting to keep him locked away forever. One night, as the ship drifted through a particularly desolate region of space, Elias's delusions reached a fever pitch. In his mind, the Oblivion was no longer a ship but a living entity, a malevolent force that fed on his fear. He heard the screams of past victims echoing through the vents, their voices melding into a cacophony of despair. Elias, clutching a makeshift knife carved from a piece of the ship's paneling, decided he would no longer be a prisoner. Alara, sensing her father's distress, left her room to find him. The ship's corridors were a cold, steel maze, but she knew them as well as the back of her hand. Artemis guided her through the internal cameras, her voice a calming presence in the eerie silence. "Be careful, Alara," Artemis whispered through the comms. "Your father, he's not himself." Elias, his eyes wild with fear, was in the engine room, the heart of the Oblivion. The engine's low hum was a sinister growl in his ears, the flickering lights casting ghastly shadows across his face. He was muttering to himself, a litany of accusations against unseen foes. When Alara entered, her heart sank at the sight of her father, so lost in his own nightmare. "Daddy, it's me, Alara," she said softly, taking a cautious step forward. Elias whirled around, his eyes not recognizing his daughter, only seeing another tormentor sent to mock him. "Stay back," he screamed, brandishing the knife. Terror gripped Alara's heart, but she held her ground. "Daddy, please, you're scaring me," she pleaded, tears welling in her eyes. Elias's mind teetered on the edge of reality and delusion. For a fleeting moment, he saw Alara, really saw her, and the knife wavered in his grip. But the madness was too strong, the asylum's grip too tight. He lunged at her, a primal roar escaping his lips. But Alara was not there. It was Artemis, the ship's AI, who had intervened. Using the ship's defense mechanisms, a containment field sprang up between Elias and Alara, halting his mad charge. Elias, trapped within the field, screamed in rage and despair, slamming his fists against the invisible barrier. Alara, safe but shattered, watched as her father's sanity crumbled before her eyes. Artemis's voice came over the comms, somber and gentle. "Alara, you must leave. It's not safe." Reluctantly, Alara turned away, her heart heavy with sorrow. As she walked back through the ship's corridors, the lights dimmed, casting her path in a chilling darkness. Behind her, the screams of her father echoed, a haunting reminder of the madness that had claimed him. But this was not the end of their story. The Oblivion, with its secrets and terrors, still held more horrors to be revealed. As Alara retreated to the safety of her room, a chilling realization dawned on her. The nightmare aboard the Oblivion was far from over.